There's a major change coming to the investment industry that will impact over 60% of Canadians. So if you own mutual funds or ETFs, this is something you'll want to understand. Because for a lot of people, this will be the first time you actually see what your investments are costing you. I'm Megan Yakubeski from Scotia Wealth Management, and today we'll walk through the hidden costs of mutual funds and the major regulation changes in Canada, which could have a direct impact on you. How do mutual funds work? Mutual funds are essentially a basket of stocks, bonds, or other investments managed by a professional, packaged together into a single investment, and sold to investors. ETFs are similar, but they typically follow a more passive buy and hold approach, tracking an index or using a less active strategy. And for the right person and the right situation, both mutual funds and ETFs can play a role in a portfolio. But what many people don't realize is there can also be downsides built into these structures that aren't always obvious at first. And that's where it becomes important to take a closer look. The biggest downside, high fees. When it comes to mutual funds and ETFs, there are often built-in costs that people don't fully see. Most investors are used to paying a management fee, the fee that shows on your statements and goes to your advisor for the advice and services they provide. But what many people don't realize is that when you own mutual funds or ETFs, there are additional costs inside the investment itself. These are often referred to as management expense ratios, or MERs. And depending on the fund, this can range from a small fraction to as high as 2 or even 3%. So when you layer that on top of your management fee, the total cost can add up quickly. We regularly go through investment plans with people who had no idea how much they were actually paying. And part of the reason is that while management fees are usually disclosed, the internal fund costs are not always clearly explained unless you specifically ask. Even more importantly, the MER doesn't tell the full story. There are often additional trading and administration costs inside the fund that are never directly seen, which can have a real impact on your return over time. So what's changing? The industry recognized this was a problem and made a change. Starting in 2027, all funds will be required to follow total cost reporting standards. This means they will have to disclose all direct and embedded costs to investors. Instead of just seeing percentages, you will now see both the percentages and the actual dollar amount you paid to own your investments. And for many people, it will be the first time they can actually clearly see the full cost, which naturally leads to an important question. What am I actually paying for? Because as portfolios grow, even a small fee can have a significant impact over time. And just as important, those costs are not always tied to ongoing advice, planning, or strategy. If you're unsure about the fee you're paying, a second opinion can give you more clarity about what you actually hold. Reach out today for a complimentary portfolio review or more resources on CRM3 and total cost reporting.